the first time that you guys have been in a win, or you have been in a win or go home situation. Where's the inspiration or the motivation coming from right now? I mean, is it a sense of unfinished business? Is it something else? Just kind of talk to me about where that's coming from.
I just think this is who we are as a team. We've been counted out all year. Odds have been stacked against us, according to experts, whatever the hell you want to call it, all year. And this is where we're comfortable. So obviously we're not going out without a fight, and we're not even worried about that. We have the ultimate confidence and belief in who we are as a team that we can get it done. So like I said, this is where we're comfortable, being in uncomfortable situations. And for me personally as a player, this is where I'm most comfortable. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. Us as a team, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Mark Berman.
Hey, Julius. I don't know if you heard about Clint Capella's comments.
Don't care.
They're coming to put you on vacation. And
Don't care.
Well,
Don't care.
Ian Bagley.
Can I assume that you did hear about them? No,
Just heard about it. And I do not care. We're not focused on that. We focus on what we got to do as a team. So you want to ask what we got to do? That's great, but why would I give a hell what Clint Capella has to say?
Steph Bondy.
In terms of what you have to do to get by Clint Capella, what do you think of the way he's played defense, and what do you do to score on him?
I mean, their game plan is basically, he's shadowing me wherever it is. He's trying to. They're loading up on me. It is what it is. So I just have to keep learning. I think the biggest thing is for me just to be decisive and make quick decisions because they are loading up on me. So that's pretty much what I plan to do.
Steve Popper.
Hey, Julius, beyond your individual stuff, you were just saying, when I asked what you guys have to do, what do you guys have to do as a team to kind of turn? I mean, it's been 2 games, rough games there.
Yeah, honestly, it's just been 2 bad quarters each game. Every other one we played them pretty evenly. We're back on our home court, and we've done a good job of protecting home court all year. We have to defend. They're shooting the ball extremely well. Credit to them, but we have to defend. That's how we won games all year. That's what we relied our hat on. So we got to defend.
Darrell Weitzman.
Hey Julius, you guys playing in front of full buildings really for the first time all year. I know last year in the bubble there was a lot of talk about how empty gyms made it sort of easier to shoot and anything like that. Do you think there's any correlation between full buildings and the teams missing some shots?
No. We played in full buildings our whole lives, so I can't really agree with that. But yeah.
Mike Borkanoff.
Julius, I mean, I think there's been a lot of focus on like what the Hawks have done, but it seems like you guys have been missing open shots as well. Is that something that you can fix going into Game 5, and is that something you put some attention to, just trying to get whether it's your form or the shot right going into Wednesday?
Yeah, all mental, man. Just gotta focus in, lock in on shots, whatever it is. Open shots, we're getting good looks. So, eventually we've shot in the ball too good. We've proven that we shot in the ball too good. So. It has to turn around.
Last question, Rebecca Harlow. Julius, one side note question for you about the hair. Is it staying out or going back to braids?
No, I'm gonna get it braided tonight. Don't worry about it, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
That wasn't my question, though.
Oh, okay, my bad.
My question, though, is, the Hawks have been able to put together some runs at points in games that have kind of done some damage. When you've gone back through the film, what's the key in your mind to kind of putting a stop to that so that those runs don't extend?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing you notice in playoff games more than any other game in the regular season is it's all possessions. So there was last game, there was possessions in the third quarter where it easily could have went the other way. We could have cut the lead to 5 or 3 points, and we just didn't make the plays. And they came down and they hit shots. Credit to them. They're executing off of our mistakes or missed shots or lapses or whatever it is. So, the game ultimately comes down to possessions, and we're starting to understand. I think the biggest thing is when we see them make 1, 2, 3 shots in a row, we have to, come down and play our style of basketball, execute and make sure we're getting the looks that we want, not turnovers or bad shots or whatever it is. So we just have to have more of an awareness during the game when they're making those runs.
Hey, Derrick. Clint Capella a little while ago said they're coming to New York to put you guys on vacation. I was wondering, if there's some motivation there. He was talking a lot of stuff about toughness and how tough they've been.
Oh, you want me to say something about that?
I was wondering if it's a good motivation for you guys to hear that he's coming to New York to put you guys on vacation.
I mean, I don't got nothing to say about that, bro. It's nothing to say about it. I don't got nothing to say about that.
Ian Bagley.
Derrick, this isn't a minutes question. I know you said you prepare your body just to play as much as Thibodeau wants you out there. The second half on Sunday, what do you think happened in terms of the group and yourself? How would you assess that?
Second half, you could tell that the intensity changed. You could tell that they were trying to get into the ball more, and we're just letting them get confidence. You could tell guys are knocking down shots. They're getting in the groove, and it's kind of hard to stop anybody in this league once you see a couple of shots go in. So we got to find ways to knock them out of this shot and take their confidence right away from the beginning of the game and in the beginning of the second half.
Steve Popper.
Hey Derrick, just on the whole, do you feel like you guys are doing the things that you did during the season, or is there something that's been lacking here for you guys?
I believe we have, but at the same time, it's about doing it for 48 minutes. In the playoffs, you can't have any, you can't lack energy in certain parts of the game. You have to play with that urgency throughout the entire game, and then more. And right now, it's a learning experience. So every game we're going back, we're looking at film and seeing how we can improve and just go from there. But it's going to be tough. This is not going to be an easy task. It's something that we're going to have to go in and go quarter by quarter and just stay together as a group.
Jeff Bondy.
A big thing Clint Capella was talking about was the physicality battle.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys are losing that right now?
I don't think so. Mark, that's no disrespect to you, bro. I was just saying, bro, I'm 32 years old, bro. I never talk shit like that in my life, and I'm not gonna start now once Clint Capella start talking crazy. It don't get to me like that. So, for no disrespect to you though, bro. I just too old for that shit, bro.
Rebecca Harlow.
Derrick, the greatest players ever play the game will say that closeout games are the hardest to win because there's so much motivation on the other side. So just curious, when you have found yourself in a win or go home situation in the past or now, what motivates you? Is it unfinished business? Is it competitiveness? The feeling that you don't want to go home yet? What are you feeling as you head into this game, and how do you channel that energy?
The same feeling where back against the wall. I've been having that same feeling for a long time, my entire career, where I had to fight for something. So it goes and play with I never talk shit. I never was the one to talk about what I'm gonna do with this and that, or in the game. I never was the one to do that in the game. I just let my game speak for itself. And the way that I play, it says a lot. I give my heart on the floor. I play as hard as I can, and I just let my game speak. So coming into this game is going to be the same way, where every game I feel like I give my all and try to give whatever I can to the team, and that's how I played ever since I entered the league, and it's going to continue to be that way until I get out.
Like working off.
Derrick, going into Game 5, do you feel like the bigger problems you guys have the last few games have been offensive or on the defensive side of the ball and trying to stop Trey?
I think it's been both. When you look defensively, of course, stopping him and stopping them from getting in the paint and getting other guys involved. Like I said, anybody that's knocking down 2 or 3 shots, they're going to gain confidence. It's pretty hard to stop them. But on the offensive end too, like both, it's been 2 games where we were under 100. So I believe it's both sides of the ball, where at times it can get difficult, but we got to find a way to get this next one.
Hey RJ, talking to Julius, he was saying that key for you guys is going to be containing those runs, and I believe that you mentioned that the other night as well. When you take a look at the runs that the Hawks have been able to put together, in your mind, what's the key to making sure that those runs don't become extended in this Game 5?
Just stick together. Get stops. That's it. We just got to play hard to get stops.
Mark Berman.
Hey RJ, how much motivation is it? I mean, when you hear about a player who says they're coming to New York to put you guys on vacation.
Who said that?
Clint Capella, and he talked about that the toughness factor, that the Knicks think they're very tough, but if they were tough, it'd be more of a factor so far. But how much motivation do you guys get?
We'll see tomorrow.
Rebecca Harlow. RJ, this is the first time that you've been in a win or go home scenario in your NBA career, and what's the thing that motivates you right now? Is there a sense of unfinished business? Is it competitiveness? What is it? I mean, you've had so much success throughout your career, so now to be in this position where you have to get this win, what's driving you?
We have nothing to lose. We just got to go out there, give it our all. That's it.
Jonathan Macri.
Hey RJ, I'm just curious, in terms of the defense, you guys have actually really limited them in terms of getting shots at the rim. You're forcing them to take a lot of long twos. Have the coaches told you guys about, kind of stick with the plan, trust that it's going to pay off, or do you feel like there are still adjustments to be made on the defensive end at this point in the series?
There's always adjustments to be made, game to game. But we've figured some things out, and we'll be fine. All we got to do is really just go in there and want it more than they do.
Bobby Childs.
RJ, get a chance to look at film the last couple of days. Are there things that you're seeing in those 2 quarters that have hurt you, that it's more on you guys in terms of execution, or more of some things that they're running that you're less familiar with?
It's definitely on us. We've gone through the year. We've beaten them already. We know how to beat them. We just we got to go there, execute. Like I said before, we got to want it more than they do.
When you take a look at the runs that the Hawks have been able to put together, what's the key after kind of going through the film and working with the guys in your mind on how you slow those down so that those aren't extended?
Yeah, you look at what caused them, whether it be a tough shot, a turnover, get back, get set. Usually it's a short segment. It could be a minute or 2, but that's playoff basketball. So you just got to focus on making your corrections and being ready to play.
Mark Berman.
Hey Tom, Clint Capella said some big words about hoping that they want to come to New York and send you on vacation. How much do you maybe use that, with the players to make them take that to heart?
Well, I think the challenge for us is just to stay focused. That's just noise. Just concentrate on what we need to do. and be ready for the first quarter. That's it.
Steve Popper.
Hey Tom, one of the things that the Hawks specifically talked about today was the physicality that they expect tomorrow, and that maybe they feel like they're winning the battle of that so far. Do you feel that or agree with that?
Just be ready. We just got to be ready to play. That's, we're just going to be focused on what we need to do.
Like working up.
Tom, you said after Game 4 that everything was on the table in terms of personnel. Does that mean you're also kind of thinking about a lineup change? Like, what possibilities are you considering for 5?
No, just be ready. You're not changing who you are, but you have some different options that you can go to. So just concentrating on that first quarter.
Ian Bagley.
Tom, one of the rotation decisions, I guess, that we haven't seen a ton of Frank Ntilikina. Was that just too drastic of a move for you to make because he hadn't played a ton in the regular season? I guess our fans look at him as a really good defender, and we see Trey playing really well. So some of them wonder why isn't he out there?
Yeah, and again, we're getting ready for the next game, and we count on everyone and just be ready to go. That's it.
Like Vaccaro.
Tom, you spoke often this year about this team's resilience and how much that's a part of the team you like the most. Are you curious to see how they respond at a time when they absolutely have to rely on that?
Yeah, I think it's all about persistence, determination, your fight. It's playoff basketball. There's ups, there's downs. You have to navigate through it all. And whatever your circumstances are, you have to have the ability to rise above those circumstances. And so this team has done it all year, and just lock in and focus on what needs to be done.
Zach Braziller.
Tom, Obi's coming off obviously a pretty good performance. You even used him a little with Julius. Do you expect to see that combination more? Do you think?
Zach, you froze.
That Obi will kind of see it.
Zach, I missed part of that. Can you repeat that, please?
Sorry about that. I said Obi's coming off obviously a pretty good game and used him a little with Julius late in Game 4. Could you see yourself going back to that? And do you also see Obi's role maybe slightly increasing?
Well, Obi's played well, so at this point, it's if he's playing well, he's going to play more. Very pleased with his season overall, but each day he's gotten better. He's played very well in the playoffs.
Mark Berman.
Yeah, Tom, I know you asked about Frank, but since you made the change with your point guard rotation, I mean, you've lost by a combined 37 points. So how hard do you look at, not just the starting point guard, but what you do with the backup point guard situation?
Well, you look at everything. You look at it in totality, and so you break it down, quarter by quarter. Everything that occurred, the corrections that need to be made, and then you have to get ready for the next game. So you're studying the games, you're looking at film, you're looking at all the information that you're getting, and then you got to formulate your plan and move forward.
Rebecca Harlow. Coach, was Nerlens able to practice in full today? And given the fact that he's had 2 days now, do you see that he's been able to kind of turn page? I know he's been kind of banged up with the fit goal.
Yeah, I think the 2 days have been good for him. So he did do everything today, and then hopefully he'll be good tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.